My name's Corey. I go by Corey for I'm a photographer, obviously.
I go by Omare, but some people know me by Elvis or by Trav, Matthew.
I'm Murlin, photographer, creative.
An artist, a brother, a friend.
You're an artist. You could be considered a visual creator. When did you discover your eye to create art?
Well, I initially wanted to be a fashion designer at first. I remember when I was younger, I would always be playing with Barbies, and I would take that very seriously. And eventually, I started playing with these avatars online, and that grew my love of fashion. But then, I didn't think it was too practical. So my dad was a photographer, gave me his camera, and then I started taking pictures of my friends, and then I thought I could just merge it all. So
it was my junior year of high school. My grandma gave me a camera, and I was like using that shooting around or whatever. And then I took I joined a photography club, and they messed up because they gave me like a packet with like all the information. I just read it and like did stuff on my own.
Really?
Yeah.
So you really go to the club?
Nah, I went like twice and then I left.
Okay, and so we just started from there.
Yeah.
I was about maybe 15 or 16. I had a best friend named John, and we used to go around doing the same stuff I do now, but like when I was small, old phones like MySpace were really cool back in the days. I was really into that, and we would take photos of ourselves, and he would come over to my house every weekend. We'll have 3 different outfits, and we'll look for locations, and we'll take off the phone. So that was kind of like a starting point of photography, but I didn't really believe in my work or believe in myself. You know, I started interning at Richard Beaver's gallery, and Richard Beaver, which is now my mentor, he saw some of my photos, and he said to me, he said, "Who took these?" And I was like, "Oh, I did." He was like, "Well, you have an eye for your work. You should keep going." So from then on, I just kept going with it.
I always loved it since like 5th grade when I was in after school program, and then I just kept at it with my iPhone, kept taking random shots of scenery and stuff, and then I'll be on Instagram on the Explore page, see everybody's, and I get inspired. And then my best friend, she got her camera, and then that just motivated me to get one, and ever since we shooting. Discovered that about 3 years ago, where I'm just shooting around with my friends around DC, Georgetown, stuff like that, just shooting each other for fun. And I've just gone developing myself into it more and more, and then since I moved out here, it developed even more.
What type of photography do you practice?
I take mostly portraits. I do street style.
I would say urban lifestyle and music.
Music. Define that.
I go to concerts a lot.
Okay.
I bring my camera.
Okay.
Yeah.
Music.
Yeah.
Music photography.
I think that's what it's called.
It makes sense. I'm just.
Some people will call it fashion photography, because you know the clothing are like highlights of it. I want to say more. I capture like feelings and moods. That's usually what my photography is. It's a feeling.
right now I'm doing fashion, but yeah, it's fashion portraiture, and I want to get more into erotic photography as well.
Erotic?
Yeah.
What's your elaborate? I have an idea, but
like sex photography. Like I find I don't see much tasteful, sexy photography. Like I really want to get into like that world, like tasteful porn in a sense.
How do you think you can do it? Because it is really risque.
It is risque, but I think I can. I just need to find the people who are willing to collaborate and who are open-minded to do these kind of things. Yeah.
Okay, so you briefly touched on your father was a photographer, and you were surrounded by friends who were kind of interested in interesting.
Fashion.
So that influenced you to be who you are. What influence does your ethnicity as well as your culture have on what you reproduce?
What I see every day in New York, nothing stays the same.
Okay.
You
such as style, nothing really stays the same either. Appearance, outdoors, buildings, art, graffiti, stuff like that.
It does a lot. To me, when I try to portray Black beauty in different ways. I just think our culture is there's no other like us. So I just think it's like my job to put that out there.
It holds a heavy place because I'm a Black man and I live in a world that is always changing and people try to deny your color, try to act like they don't see color, but it's very important. So when I create, I try my best to solely use Black people, Black women, Black men, because we are underprivileged when it comes to that sense. Some people nowadays may think we're gaining a lot, but it's just the last 3 years, last 3 years, social media has become very popular. You see a lot more Black models getting love, but we still don't have enough. So when I shoot, I particularly shoot people of color, and I make sure we're showing and celebrating in so many different ways.
I grew up influences what I take pictures of and stuff, and things going through my head, like a lyric may pop into my head, and I'm like, oh, this reminds me of that. And I take a picture real quick and stuff like that.
Let's go back to the lyrics. Something popping in your head, you're taking a picture. What's an example of that?
You know how on Instagram you come up with a crazy caption? It just has to be perfect.
Yeah.
That'll pop into my head first, and then I'll take a picture for the caption
Okay.
because of the music. So it just comes together like that.
Yeah, do you think there's a gender gap in photography, as in the photographers?
I would say I do see less female photographers in certain areas.
Gender gap? No, there's no gender gap whatsoever. Anybody could take a picture and such, but it depends on what their story for the reason for capturing it.
Is photography an important aspect?
To me, I always say create to inspire. So that person that you inspired creates to inspire someone, so it's like a cycle. So you just keep inspiring. So photography, you tell the story through it, and people get inspired, and then they just spread positive vibes.
Of course, you see it everywhere, advertisements, or else, just everywhere. When somebody wants to sell you something, come out with a lookbook, and all that stuff.
Photography is important for those who are not willing to see certain things because they can't go to a certain location or area, something they miss, they could still end up seeing it by someone who captured it.
I think it's important because it's pretty much a reflection of our society. It's the media. Wherever you look, if you go to Times Square and you see the billboards, there's a lot of photography. People are intaking that, and it has a lot to do with representation. People look for themselves in photography, so I think it's very powerful.
I think photography is very, very, very important.
For who and why?
I think it's important for everyone because it can touch so many different aspects. So a lot of people do photography. Well, the most popular one we see fashion or models, and that's very appealing to people. You see a clothing piece and you might think, I want that piece. Even when someone takes a photo of just a shoe and posts it on Etsy or Adidas.com, that's really important because you get to see that particular shoe, you get to see that item that you might want to purchase, because if you didn't have the photos, you would never see how it looks. But I think the most important part of photography is documentary style photography, which captures maybe everyday life. It reminds you, photography really captures a moment.
How does your psychological state of mind at any given time impact your work?
Sometimes, because whatever mood you're in, you tend to lean towards that.
Yeah, it really does. I pretty much try to capture at least every moment, emotion, usually stuff that some people miss out in or won't be able to see.
I try to not let it impact my work. If I have a specific idea, I know it's coming from somewhere some are honest, and I don't know, like, I know everything that if I'm not good in my mind, I know it's temporary, so I'm probably not gonna work on the work that I had if it's not where I want it to be.
Okay. Where would you like to be? Where are you going?
Editorials and just progressing. Yeah. Maybe do eventually do commercial stuff.
Okay.
Nothing specific, but I definitely want to go on tour.
On tour?
Yeah, like somebody's concert and stuff. Just take a bunch of pictures for it.
I have a lot of plans in the future, but pretty much my goals are basically to get fashion campaigns, editorials. I like to release a couple of books, maybe do a clothing line. There's a lot of ideas and stuff. We'll see how it goes.
Definitely, of course, want to get into a magazine. But I have a book of film work and of like documentary style, like capturing moments, everyday moments, a little more less than fashion because those moments are kind of raw. Definitely do an exhibit. My primary goal is always to do better than I did last.
Right.
So that means I never stop. But with that sense, I just keep on going.
Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me. I hope you're comfortable. I definitely do understand you as an artist, as an individual, and appreciate your work.